Love, a precious gift, but also a journey full of challenges. Have you ever felt lost in your relationships? Or wondered how to build a lasting and happy love? True love is not just about empty promises or sweet moments. It is about actions, appreciation, and the things a man is willing to do for the woman he loves. But how do you know when he truly sees you as an important part of his life? That is when he does the following things, silent yet meaningful actions that show he loves you with all his heart and sincerity. Welcome to the channel, Sophia's Knowledge, and my name is Sophia. This is where we share lessons about love, real-life experiences, and tips to build a strong relationship. In today's video, Sophia will reveal to you 8 things a man only does for the woman he truly values. These might be things you've never even thought of. If you're looking for deeper understanding of love and how to grow your relationship, don't miss this video. Before we begin, find a quiet space and put on your headphones so you can feel every word I share. Relax and join me on this journey. Are you ready to begin? Let's go. Number 1. Listening sincerely. Something a man only does for the woman he truly values. In love, people often think of sweet words, romantic gestures, or surprising gifts. But there is something quiet, subtle, and often overlooked, and that is listening. Not listening to reply, not listening to argue, but listening with the heart. And a man only truly does this when he values his woman. Sincere listening doesn't come from instinct, it's a choice. When a man truly values you, he listens not just with his ears, but with his eyes, his emotions, and his full presence. He doesn't see the conversation as an obligation, but as a chance to understand you more, to feel more deeply connected to your inner world. There is a clear difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is when someone nods while you speak, eyes glued to their phone, mind elsewhere. Listening is when a man puts the phone down, looks into your eyes, listens attentively in silence, and lets you know what you say is being received with care. A man who truly loves you will never take lightly what you share, even the smallest things. Whether you talk about a bad day at the office, a mild headache, or a strange dream from last night, he listens as if it's the most important thing in that moment. Not because he has nothing else to do, but because you are important to him. And what matters to you, matters to him. Even when the two of you disagree, he will still try his best to listen. He won't interrupt, won't dismiss your feelings just to win an argument. Instead, he will be patient, calm, and try to understand why you're upset, why you're silent, why you're angry. Because to him, love isn't about who's right or wrong, but how both can understand each other better after every conflict. Listening is also a sign of maturity in love. He understands that women don't always need advice or solutions. Many times, what a woman truly wants is simply a peaceful shoulder to lean on, someone willing to listen without judgment, without rushing to conclusions. Someone who helps her feel, I'm understood. A man who values you will never let you feel alone in your own story. He'll remember what you've said, ask about the details you thought he'd forgotten. And perhaps the most touching thing is when he uses what you've shared to make you happy, to comfort you, or simply to remind you, I'm still here, listening to you every day. In the end, love doesn't always need grand gestures. Sometimes, just a gentle nod, a listening gaze, or a caring question like, how was your day? Is enough to warm an entire heart. And if you're with a man who always listens to you, not just with his ears, but with sincerity and respect, then believe that you're with someone who truly values you. Because people only truly listen when they truly care. If you found this video helpful, share it with your friends or loved ones to spread the value. And if you have any questions or ideas, leave them in the comments. I'm always listening and ready to respond. Let's continue this journey together. Number 2. Respecting your thoughts and decisions. Something a man only does for the woman he truly values. True love is not about who holds the power, who has the louder voice, or who is always right in every situation. Real love is where two people, with all their differences, can still walk together with understanding and mutual respect. And when a man truly values you, what he always maintains in the relationship is his respect for your thoughts and decisions. Respect is not silent nodding or going along just to keep the peace. Respect is when he listens to what you say, cares about your point of view, and sees you as an independent individual, not his shadow, not someone who just follows. It's when he understands that you have logic, experiences, and your own perspectives, and he doesn't dismiss that just because you're not the same as him. In a healthy relationship, a man who values you will not belittle your emotions, whether you're upset over something he thinks is small, or worried about something he believes is unnecessary. Instead of reacting with indifference or mockery, he chooses to put himself in your shoes to understand why you think that way, why you feel that way. Because respect is not just about agreement, but also the effort to understand. When you want to do something for yourself, whether it's a career decision, a new hobby, or simply the desire for personal space, he doesn't control, doesn't stop you, doesn't make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. That man understands that love is not a bond that ties you down, but a place where you can grow, freely develop, and still be loved. Respect is also shown in the way he doesn't impose his way of life, doesn't force you to change to fit his idea of what's right. If you're introverted, he doesn't push you to be outgoing. If you're strong and independent, he doesn't feel threatened. He doesn't try to make you tone it down just so he can feel more secure. On the contrary, he values those differences, because he loves you for who you are. In every joint decision, from small things like where to go on the weekend, to big matters like careers, where to live, or even long-term future plans, he always gives you a voice. He doesn't take over the decision-making, nor does he force you to follow his lead just because he's the man in the relationship. He understands that true agreement is built from listening to each other, not from domination. There may be times when you and he don't see eye to eye. But instead of using harsh words or trying to assert that he's right, he chooses to have a calm discussion, ready to accept if he realizes he's wrong. A man who values you won't hesitate to say I'm sorry or you're right, not because he's lost, but because he doesn't want to win an argument at the cost of hurting you. More importantly, respect creates a sense of safety in a relationship. When you know you're being heard, being valued, you'll feel confident to be yourself, to share anything without fear of being judged or belittled. That's the foundation for a love that is not just emotional, but a strong companionship. A man who values you doesn't only love you when you're soft, agreeable, or doing what he wants. He still loves you when you're strong, when you dare to say no, when you make decisions that go against his, because he loves all of you, not just the parts that are easy to accept. Ultimately, respect is something that cannot be forced. It only comes from a heart that's wide enough and feelings that are truly genuine. And if you're with such a man, one who listens, acknowledges, and always respects you in every thought and choice, then believe that you are being loved deeply and deservedly. If you're still watching this video, don't hesitate to comment the word continue. Leave your thoughts and questions below in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so Sophia will have more motivation to create even more meaningful and inspiring videos. Let's continue together. Number 3. Always wants to protect you. Something a man only does for the woman he truly values. When a man truly values a woman, the instinct to protect naturally arises, not like a movie hero, but as an ordinary man who quietly stands by your side, always ready to shield you from anything that might hurt you. Protection in love doesn't necessarily have to be grand gestures or empty promises. It can be the simplest things like putting a jacket on you when it's cold, gently holding your hand while crossing the street, reminding you to sleep early, or emphasizing every be careful when you travel far. These seemingly meaningless little things actually carry a deep and sincere love. A man who values you always wants you to feel safe, not just safe from the outside world, but also safe within the relationship itself. He won't make you question his feelings, won't leave you in doubt or fear of abandonment. He understands that safety doesn't come from flowery words, but from consistent actions and the way he treats you every single day. Protection is also present during your most vulnerable moments. When you're tired, hurt, or going through a tough time, he doesn't just say you have to be strong, but is willing to sit next to you, hold your hand tightly, and provide a gentle space where you can be yourself, without having to put on a brave face or hide your tears. He won't just stand by when someone disrespects, belittles, or hurts you. Whether it's careless words from others or unfair situations in life, that man will speak up for you if you're not strong enough to defend yourself. Not because he thinks you're weak, but because to him, you deserve to be treated with kindness and respect. A man who values you will also protect you from the fears and insecurities you can't yet name. He's sensitive enough to notice when you're anxious, when you're under pressure, even if you don't speak it out loud. He doesn't dismiss those things, doesn't brush off your emotions with "it's nothing to be sad about." Instead, he always finds ways to be by your side, to share and soothe the weight you're carrying. This kind of protection isn't possessive. He doesn't control you, doesn't confine you within harsh limits in the name of love. Because he understands that protection is not about keeping you in a glass cage, but about letting you be yourself, free, peaceful, and assured that there's always someone watching over you from behind, ready to catch you if you fall. And sometimes, protecting you simply means being a silent support, saying nothing, not interfering, just being there at the right moment. Because he knows there are storms you want to face on your own, and he doesn't need to fight them for you, he just wants you to know, you're not alone. A man who truly loves you won't let you feel lonely in this vast world. No matter how strong you are, he still wants to be the one you can lean on when you're tired. And if you've ever met such a man, someone who gently places his hand on your back as you walk, who asks, "Are you okay?" when you go quiet, who shows up when you need him, then cherish him. Because you are with someone who doesn't just love you, but sees you as the most precious thing worth protecting. In the end, in this world, the feeling of safety is a rare gift. And if a man can make you feel safe just by his presence, then that is not just love, but the deepest and most sincere form of appreciation. Number 4. Puts you in his future plans. Something a man only does for the woman he truly values. Love is not just about emotional moments in the present, but also about how people envision the future. And when a man truly values the woman beside him, he doesn't just live for today, he also thinks about tomorrow, a tomorrow with you in it. Not everyone who loves is brave enough to plan a future together. Sometimes people love but still keep a distance, leave an open door, or carry a bit of hesitation in case things don't work out. But when a man truly values you, in every plan, every dream, every path ahead, he envisions you walking with him. Your presence is not something that would be nice to have, but an essential, irreplaceable part. He won't say fanciful things or paint a faraway future just to reassure you. Instead, he shows it through very real things. How he saves money, how he chooses his job, where he decides to live, even how he thinks about family, children, and a stable life. He won't say, "Someday I want a house," but rather, "Someday, if we have a house," and that word "we" is a quiet but powerful commitment. A man who values you will share his worries about the future with you, without hiding, without masking, without pretending everything is fine. He wants you to know that he's trying, not just for himself, but for both of you. And when he's confused or tired, you'll be the first person he wants to talk to consult, to be comforted by. Because in his heart, you're not just someone who walks beside him, but someone he wants to build a life with. Putting you in his future also means he's serious about the current relationship. He doesn't delay important conversations, doesn't avoid introducing you to his family or close friends. He doesn't just love you in the shadows or during private dates, but proudly brings you into his world, because in his heart, you deserve to be clearly, fully, and permanently present. That man also isn't afraid of you seeing his weaknesses, failures, or the unfinished parts of his life. On the contrary, he's willing to let you see it all, even the parts he's not confident about, because he wants you to walk with him, not just on sunny days, but also through the storms. He doesn't need to be perfect to dream of a future with you, he chooses to love you with all the sincerity he has now. And then, in even the smallest details, you'll see yourself gradually becoming a part of his life. It could be when he asks where you'd want to live if you two shared a home someday. It could be when he saves up to buy something and says, "This will be really handy for you later." It could be when he talks about switching to a more stable job because I want to have more time for family. These things don't need to be grand gestures, but they're enough to let you know he's planning every step with a future that includes you. A man who values you won't let you remain stuck at the line between girlfriend and life partner. He will slowly guide you into new chapters of his life, with seriousness, with practical decisions, and with the patience to grow together. Because for a man who truly loves and values you, the future is no longer something too far away. It's simply tomorrow, the day after, next year, and with each of those days, he wants you by his side. Number 5. Always makes an effort to stay in touch. Something a man only does for the woman he truly values. In an age where everyone is busy, staying in touch can sometimes become a luxury. Forgotten messages, missed calls that are never returned, prolonged silences without explanation, gradually make people drift apart without even realizing it. However, when a man truly values you, he won't let that happen. Because in his heart, you are an important part, and he always makes the effort to stay in touch so that you never feel left behind. Staying in touch doesn't mean texting or calling nonstop. It's the consistent, sincere, and natural care that comes from the heart. It's when he thinks of you at the most ordinary moments, just waking up in the morning, during a busy workday, or before going to bed. A message like, "Did you have breakfast yet?" or a call saying, "I just got off work, how was your day?" can sometimes mean more than 100 declarations of love. A man who values you will never let you wonder, "Is he thinking about me?" or "Why hasn't he sent even one message all day?" Because to him, you're not someone to think about when he has free time, but a priority in every circumstance. No matter how busy he is, he will still find a few minutes to check in, not out of obligation, but because he wants you to know, you matter. His effort to stay in touch is also a way of maintaining the bond between you two. Because he understands that love is not something unchanging. It needs to be nurtured every day through seemingly small things, and staying in touch is the quiet thread that keeps two hearts close. When distance, time, or work gets in the way, it's his effort that will reassure you, this relationship is still being cherished. That man will also be the first to reach out when there's a conflict. He won't stay silent to avoid it, won't disappear and leave you confused. He understands that silence can sometimes hurt more than words. So instead of waiting for you to make the first move, he will be the one to speak up, not because he's giving in, but because he values the relationship more than his ego. Making the effort to stay in touch is also shown through how he remembers every little detail about you. He'll ask about the important meeting you mentioned, remind you to bring an umbrella when it looks like rain, remember your medical appointments or the exam you're nervous about. He doesn't need to write it down or be reminded, because to him, everything about you is worth remembering. And then, sometimes his care comes very naturally. A photo he sends you because this view was beautiful and it reminded me of you. A song, a book, a dish he came across somewhere and remembered that you liked. That's how he shows you that, even if you're far apart, you're always present in his mind. When a man truly loves you, he won't make you feel like you have to fight for his attention or wait in vain. He reassures you with his steady presence, not loud, not flashy, but persistent and sincere. Because to him, staying in touch is not a duty, but a way of saying, "I'm always here. I'm always thinking of you." In the end, in a world where everything can be forgotten so quickly, someone who consistently makes an effort to stay connected with you, patiently, kindly, and seriously, is someone who is holding on to this love with all his heart. And if you meet someone like that, don't let go too easily. Because maybe you found a love that's real. Number 6. Willing to change for you. Things a man only does for the woman he cherishes. It is often said, men don't change for anyone unless it's someone they truly love. This simple statement holds profound truth. Change has never been easy, especially for men, who often live by principles, personalities, and habits formed over the years. But when they meet the woman they genuinely cherish, something magical begins to happen. They are willing to change, not out of compulsion, but voluntarily. Changing for someone doesn't mean losing oneself. It is a process of self-adjustment, a maturity that comes from love and understanding. When a man truly loves you, he not only wants you to feel happy beside him but also desires to become a better version of himself, not for society's approval, but for your trust, for that love to grow stronger. Perhaps he was once a dry, unemotional person, unaccustomed to expressing feelings. But because of you, he starts learning how to say loving words, to care more, to be more sensitive. He learns to listen, to be patient, to put himself in your shoes to better understand what you are feeling. These are things he may never have considered before. But for you, he wants to try, little by little, slowly but surely. A man who cherishes you will pay attention to the little things you often mention. You once said he smoked too much. He starts to cut back. You worry because he stays up late working. He tries to rearrange his time. You want him to care about his health. He proactively eats and drinks more healthily. Not because you force him, but because, in his heart, your words matter. He values every comment, every concern of yours as a gentle reminder that someone truly loves him. This change isn't loud. It doesn't happen overnight, doesn't need to be grandiose to prove anything. It's a silent but persistent journey, where each small step carries a great deal of affection. It's when he begins to say sorry and thank you more often, knows when to stay silent to listen instead of hastily arguing. It's when he no longer avoids discussions but proactively seeks solutions with you. Changing for someone sometimes means knowing to take a step back so that both can move forward. It's when he learns to be more gentle, not because he's weak, but because he understands that rigidity sometimes only hurts the one he loves. It's when he disciplines himself to become the man you can rely on, not perfect, but someone who continuously strives for a lasting love. The important thing is, this man doesn't feel that changing for you is a sacrifice. On the contrary, he feels happy to do so. Because he knows that love isn't just about intense emotions, but about understanding, about willingly growing together, overcoming the distances between two souls. And if you ever feel uneasy seeing your loved one change so much, remember, he does it not because you ask, but because he truly wants to. Because in the heart of a man who cherishes you, nothing is more valuable than making you feel happy and safe when you're with him. Change is the clearest proof of mature love. And when a man willingly changes for you, it not only shows that he loves you but also is a silent affirmation, I want to walk with you to the end of the road. Number 7. Introducing you to family and friends. Something a man only does with a woman he truly cherishes. In love, there is a significant milestone that makes a woman feel truly valued, when a man is willing to bring her out of the private world between the two of them and into the most important circles of his life, his family and friends. This is not merely a social gesture but a serious declaration: she is the one I love, and I want my whole world to know that. A man may date or feel attracted to many people, but he only introduces a woman to his family and friends when he considers the relationship to be genuinely serious, deep, and oriented toward the future. Introducing his partner is not just about a meeting, it's a way of sharing his pride, attachment, and hope for a life with you as his long-term companion. For men, family and friends hold special positions, reflecting their true selves. When he introduces you to his parents, it's not out of obligation but a sign of trust. He believes you are thoughtful, sincere, and significant enough to enter that world, a place reserved for someone he sees as the one to walk with me to the end of my life. With friends, the introduction carries equally profound meaning. Friends reflect aspects of his personality that you might not have seen in your romantic relationship. By letting you meet, converse, and appear alongside him in social gatherings, he wants you to be not just a private relationship but a part of his public life. Introducing you to family and friends also demonstrates his quiet pride in you. He doesn't keep you to himself as a secret, nor does he consider love something to hide. He wants everyone to see that you are the woman he has chosen, the one he trusts and values. This is an unspoken affirmation, carrying more weight than any promise. Conversely, if a man consistently avoids introducing you, always finding reasons to delay, you have the right to question it. A man who truly loves will want the world to know about you, ensuring you have a clear place in his life. This clarity isn't just in words but shown through actions, by arranging meetings, holding your hand among close friends, and confidently introducing you, "This is the woman I love." Of course, not everyone finds it easy to open up to others, especially men who have experienced hurt, failure, or come from complex families. But when they overcome those barriers to bring you into their world, it further shows the depth and seriousness of their feelings for you. And in those meetings, you'll quietly feel something warm. You're no longer an outsider in his life. You are someone known, acknowledged, placed in the right position, not behind, not in limbo, but beside him. The exact place where a loved and cherished woman belongs. Ultimately, introducing you to family and friends is not just a step forward in love but the clearest sign that you are no longer a temporary part of his life. You have become part of the future he is building, an important piece he wants to place correctly in the picture of his life. Number 8. Always support your growth. Things men only do for the women they cherish. In love, one of the clearest signs that a man truly values you is his unconditional support for your personal development. He doesn't just love you for who you are now, but also for who you can become. When a man genuinely loves and respects you, he won't confine you to the limits of the past but will always encourage you to reach higher, grow, and achieve your own dreams and aspirations. This support isn't just empty words or meaningless reassurances. It's manifested through consistent and practical actions. He'll be the first to encourage you to pursue your passions, even if it means you might have to make sacrifices or face challenges. If you decide to learn a new profession, he'll stand behind you, helping you stay confident and believe in your own abilities. If you want to change jobs, he won't hold you back out of fear or for the sake of security. Instead, he'll always motivate you to step out of your comfort zone to seek better opportunities. Importantly, he supports you not only when everything is going well but also when you encounter difficulties. During times when you feel tired, discouraged, or have failed, he'll be there to help you reflect on what's happened, support you in getting back up, and continue moving forward. He never makes you feel like you have to bear everything alone. Instead, he shares the burden with you, helps you find solutions, and sometimes, simply listens to you. This support is also evident in small yet meaningful actions. He never hinders you when you want to study abroad, take a personal development course, or expand your social relationships. He understands that your growth benefits not only you but also your relationship. He's not afraid that you'll outgrow or outshine him. On the contrary, he's proud of you. He knows that as you grow, you become the best version of yourself, which strengthens your relationship. A man who values you will always want you to be confident, independent, and capable of making your own life decisions. He'll never ask you to sacrifice your dreams or overlook personal ambitions just for the relationship. Instead, he'll always find ways to encourage you to strive for the goals you've set, even if those goals might mean you have to be apart temporarily. He understands that for both of you to go further together, you must first be able to walk a solid path on your own. His support extends beyond your career to your mental and emotional growth. He encourages you to take care of yourself, spend time on personal hobbies, and seek things that make you happy. He doesn't want you to be blindly absorbed in the relationship but wants you to maintain your identity and personal joy. He understands that a happy and well-rounded woman brings balance to both of you, making your love even stronger. This unconditional support is one of the pillars of a long-lasting and happy relationship. When a man truly loves and values you, he'll always stand behind you, providing a solid foundation to help you overcome all of life's challenges and trials. Your relationship isn't just a place to share feelings but also a space where you're nurtured and encouraged to become the best version of yourself. Therefore, when you find a man who not only loves you but also supports your growth, cherish him. Because he's the one who will always be by your side, not only in happy times but also during the toughest moments, someone who will never stop believing in you, your abilities, and your dreams. He's not just your lover but also your companion, your supporter, helping you rise and achieve what you truly deserve in life. Conclusion. Love is a journey, and along this journey, every step requires care, appreciation, and nurturing from both sides. When a man truly values his woman, he doesn't just love her for what she brings but is also willing to change, dedicate, and grow with her. From listening, respecting your thoughts and decisions, to always supporting your growth and introducing you to his family and friends, all these actions reflect a mature and profound love. A relationship isn't just a place for affection but also a space for each individual to grow together, reach further, and become the best versions of themselves. A man who values you will not only be your companion during joyful moments but will also stand by you through challenges, helping you overcome all difficulties and encouraging you to continue on the path you've chosen. Therefore, if you find such a man, cherish him, because he's someone who loves you not just with words but with actions. A lasting love isn't built on promises alone but on daily acts of care, understanding, and support. Finally, remember that genuine love will always find ways to grow and endure, and when both of you dedicate true respect and affection to each other, that relationship will never fade. Thank you for watching today's video. I'm delighted to share lessons about love and relationships with you. I hope you've learned something new and can apply it to your life. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to not miss upcoming videos. Thank you for always accompanying and supporting us. Wishing you a wonderful day, and don't forget to love yourself a lot.